Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Oh, here. Martin.
Here.
Stewart. Here. Wenzel.
Here.
Cooper.
Here.
Chanel.
Here.
Beaton. Here. Thank you. One minor change to the agenda will be scratching the executive session. We're going to wait until after the election to deal with the wage studies.
Thank you.
Yep. And with that, we'll need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported to approve the agenda. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have public statement regarding current agenda items only. All right, next we have consent agenda. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support. Motion's been made and supported to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have accounts payable in the amount of $280,256.48.
So moved.
Support. Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have a root note invoice for $2,280.
So moved. Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Abstain?
Abstain.
And no. Motion passes. No unfinished business. Moving on to the new business. Introduction, discussion, none. Items for action. AHP presenting village assessment audit report. Who has the floor?
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jamie Rave. I'm the audit partner with Andrew Super Pavlik, overseeing the audit of Village of Chesaning. With me here this evening, I have Justin Comas. Justin is the audit in charge for the Village of Chesaning audit. We're really pleased to be with you here this evening to present the audit results. Overall, very good audit process. We have completed our audit with great results, great cooperation from management and the staff at the village. We know that an audit like this is a heavy lift for the team in place here at the village. And we do want to express our appreciation for the cooperation and assistance that we received through the audit process. So overall, very good audit process. Justin and I are going to just present for you this evening some brief highlights of the audit results and of the financial results in the financial report we have. So I'm going to start with some of our auditor communications. First, I guess I'll say you have 3 reports in front of you. One of them is kind of the bigger report. It's the bound financial report, and that has the financial statements and footnotes in it, a lot of details about the balances and activities for the fiscal year. Justin's going to talk about a few highlights from that report. The other 2 reports, which are much smaller, one of them is an auditor's communications letter, and then the other report is a report we issue related to internal control and compliance because of the audit being performed in accordance with government auditing standards. So, the much shorter report has to do with internal control and compliance, and that report indicates that we did not identify any matters that are required to be reported related to deficiencies in internal control or non-compliance matters during the audit. So that's a very clean report. The stapled report, that's a little bit thicker, that is our report that includes auditor communications. So there are a number of communications that we are required to make under generally accepted audit standards. Those communications are all contained within that report. Really everything in those communications is provided here in the affirmative. So we did not identify any significant exceptions or findings during the audit process, and we are making, again, those communications all in the affirmative. That letter does include information about risks that we identified during the audit, which we are required under audit standards to perform risk assessment, and we are required to consider certain areas as significant risks of material misstatement. there are no unusual matters that we are reporting to you as a part of these communications as a result of our procedures that were designed to mitigate those risks. There are some adopted accounting standards that are disclosed in that communications letter. There were no adopted accounting standards this year that had a significant impact on the financial statements, but there were some adopted standards, one of which did have an impact on the statement. Not a large impact, but there was a standard adopted that did result in some changes to the amounts that are reported. This has to do with subscription-based information technology arrangements. Under a new accounting standard, when the village enters into cloud-based IT arrangement, they are required to be accounted for a little bit differently than they have in the past, with a reported asset, kind of like a capital asset for the right to use that, as well as a liability. So the village does have some cloud-based IT arrangements, and they are now being recorded under that standard. That's not unusual at all. Many entities do have arrangements like that. And with the standard changing, that was just an item that the village was required to implement this year.
Those are seen as assets?
They are, yes. It's kind of a right to use this this item that it's an IT arrangement, but it's like a right to use that service. So that's what that asset. It does get grouped with capital assets, and then it gets amortized. So that letter also includes a discussion of some of the upcoming accounting standards. We did have a meeting with management to kind of walk through some of those, and we will continue to talk with management about those as we move into the future. Really just accounting standards that are coming up, and it's good to be alert to those things for any changes that would be required in financial reporting and accounting. There is information in that letter about our responsibilities as auditors in performing the audit. And there's also information about the estimates included in the financial statements. It's not unusual to have estimates in financial statements, and in this case, some of the more sensitive estimates in these financial statements relate to the estimates of the pension and OPEB liabilities. That the determination of those amounts does include an estimation process as well as actuarial assumptions at play. So those are by nature estimates, and we do evaluate the key factors and assumptions that go into those estimates in determining that they are reasonable in relation to the financial statements as a whole. This letter continues with communications about the fact that there are no significant misstatements noted during the audit. There were no disagreements with management. There were no difficulties in completing the audit. So again, all of these communications are being provided in the affirmative. We have no matters that are noted that are considered to be material weaknesses in internal control. So that those are areas that we identify deficiencies in internal control such that there is a reasonable possibility of material misstatements not being detected. We would be reporting those as material weaknesses, and there are no such items, so nothing being reported there. And then finally attached to that letter is a management representation letter, the last few pages of it. And this is a letter that management signs and makes representations to us about the information included in the financial statements, the information provided to us for the audit, and ultimately acknowledging management's responsibility for the financial statement. So that's all very standard, and that's included in that report. Again, overall, really positive audit results. I'm going to step aside, let Justin step up, and just cover a few of the key financial highlights from that bound financial report.
So, as Jamie previously mentioned, the annual financial report contains the report of independent auditors, the management discussion and analysis, the financial statements, and the related footnotes and various supplementary information schedules. On page 1 is the independent auditor's report, which contains a clean, unmodified opinion, which is the best opinion you can receive for an audit. On pages 5 through 12 is the management discussion and analysis, which provides an executive summary of the financial results of the year. This report is prepared by management and not subject to our audit procedures. So, to talk about some of the financial highlights during the year, the village received the Protected Michigan Pension Grant Award for a total of $992,155 throughout the year, allocated to the general fund, sewer fund, and water fund. These contributions were made to the MERS plan and amount of the grant award. The village also issued unlimited tax general obligation bonds in the amount of $950,000 to finance street improvement projects. The general fund saw a change in fund balance of negative $55,702. This was mainly from the increased employee costs. The general fund balance at year end was $262,702, which represents about 9% of general fund expenditures, or a little over 1 month of general fund expenditures. Other governmental funds also saw a neutral or positive change in fund balance, with the exception of the debt service fund, which saw a decrease in fund balance of $109,048, which was due to debt payments exceeding property taxes due to the reduction in the general debt service mill rate. All fund balances were positive. Primary funds saw increases in that position, with $280,305 increases for the sewer fund, and $286,633 for the water fund. The Downtown Development Authority also saw increases in that position, $38,276. So moving on from the financial statement section, we'll look at the footnotes. The footnotes and supplementary information included in the financial report provide additional information about the financial results of the year. Footnote 16 in particular includes information about events that occurred after February 29, 2024. The village received a $50,000 favorable legal settlement related to a building demolition, which is being paid in 2 installments, with the first installment to be received in April 2024 and the other to be received in October 2024. In closing, I would like to thank everyone at the village and management for all the work they put in to allow us to provide this clean opinion, as it takes a significant amount of work for the audit to occur. So I just want to say thank you to Scott, Donna, and Tom. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
I like those news. I think the last one we had a couple of red lines. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, next up we have Tom Drinkus requesting to install shovel remembering sign and shovel park.
I'm here representing a committee that wanted to establish a sign, a shovel sign in Shovel Park. Now, I know Dale Keedon happened to be here several months ago and also made a presentation to you in regards to the sign. Dale could not make it this week. He's has a family obligation. So he asked me as a member of the committee to present to you what the sign is going to look like, and then of course where you want the sign to be. And we have an idea where the committee would like to see it, but that's all up to you, I take it. So the sign itself is being made by Agnew Signs. The sign, everything involved, is $8,500. The sign is a gift from the Chesapeake Historical Museum. They are paying for the entire sign. And I don't know if you remember, but at one time, I think Dale was in the park at the time, and Nancy Krause was with him, and she made a statement that made Dale wonder. Not many people know, I know what Showboat's all about, but the next generation has no clue of what Showboat is all about, okay? And so here you have a park. That's the last thing that you have, I'm assuming, here in the community that says Showboat.
Aside from the restaurant, yes.
It's very good. So, and that's for sale. So that could change. Anyway, what was I going to say? You threw me off the restaurant. So there's the next generation that goes, and the park is being used, my God, it's being used quite a bit. And with the new playground and so forth, and so their kids are asking, why are you naming the Showboat Park? Well, here we go. And I'm going to stand here so you all can see it. Excuse me. And this is the sign that they're putting up. Can you see it? There you go. Oh, my wife's classmate. Anyway, this is the sign that's going to go up. And on it is a history of Showboat. And it deals with maybe a few of the top-notch people that attended Showboat, you know, and that's about it. And the maintenance and everything will be taken care of through the Historical Society, if I'm not mistaken. Now, where do you want it? Here we go. Your Picasso drawing right here. I didn't do this, someone else did. When you go into the park, you go right into the park, then you make a right, and that's where the playground is. Well, across from the playground, you have quite a bit of grassy knoll there. And originally they were going to put the sign there, but then they decided to move, recommendation of the committee, they were just going to move it a little bit up, right by where everybody parks to go to have a picnic in the pavilion or the playground, because I think you get more traffic there. Usually most people, if I'm not mistaken, go into the park, go around that way, and then come around to enjoy the park. So they would like to place the sign right by where the pavilion is, but directly across on that grassy knoll. Have I lost you?
So, by where the apple trees are, roughly in that area.
I'm a Chicago, what do I know about
There's a couple apple trees on the other side of the road there.
Yeah,
I think that's,
yeah.
is that about where you're
I
talking?
would say by the round.
Nowhere near with floodwaters get it.
Yeah. Where?
The rest of the park. The rest of the park.
No. I think it's a great idea. And you gotta really thank Nancy Prosper, saying, well, why rename the Showboat? And you gotta think of the next generation and so forth. And hopefully it will continue to have the name Showboat Park because, my God, over 70 years, 60 years of great success.
Is it two-sided?
I'm
Is it
sorry?
two-sided or just the front facing?
I'm sorry, I didn't get
Is
it.
it two-sided or is it just the front facing?
Just the front. Good question. It is the front. That's it.
And my other question is,
Sure.
there's a small trend in signage right now where different organizations are adding a QR code that then makes it a little bit more handicap accessible. It's obviously too large for any type of braille, but the QR then, if they have an interpreter or somebody with them, they can scan the QR and it goes to an audio file and it'll read it.
I will bring that up. As a matter of fact, we're meeting again next week to discuss the dedication of it. And I'll mention that. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I'll give Mark a call.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you. Never thought of that. I don't know the next step. You people do.
Yeah, I think we'll just need to approve it. Does anybody wanna read or have me read what's on the sign?
I think we're pretty good. We all know the history of Showboat.
I could read it if you want me to. Sure. Okay. In 1937, the Chesapeake Chamber of Commerce made a bold decision. I look like Moses still. In 1937, the Chesapeake Chamber of Commerce made a bold decision that would change the course of history for the small village of Chesapeake. In an effort to boost the local economy, business leaders ambitiously planned what they called a Summer River Spectacular. And on July 15, 1937, the Chesapeake Showboat made its debut in what is now Showboat Park. Over the following 8 decades, minus a hiatus during World War II, an army of community volunteers spent the second full week in July producing an entertainment festival that, at its height, drew up to 10,000 people a day to Chesapeake. Each evening, crowds gathered to watch the beloved Showboat Queen Riverboat make her half-mile cruise down the Shiawassee River, transforming spotlight of homegrown talent evolved into a Hollywood-worthy production featuring internationally renowned entertainers like Willie Nelson, the Beach Boys, and Kenny Rogers. Showboat's philanthropic impact was felt year-round as proceeds benefited countless community improvement projects and nonprofit organizations. Still, the event's success was measured by more than ticket sales, as the village experienced unprecedented growth. As a tourist destination, the Chesaning Showboat remained true to its roots, with the whole town pitching in to put on a show. The spirit carried on through 2012, thanks to the real stars, the generations of volunteers who enjoy working tirelessly alongside their neighbors to make enduring showboat memories. Signed, made possible through a generous gift of the Chesaning Area Historical Society.
Very nice.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Make a motion to approve Jacobson's request to install Showboat Remembrance sign at Showboat Park as presented.
Support. Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
It's the first time I've ever been to
You want to go?
Enjoy, thank you.
All right, next up, we have Candle Walk requesting to have a fireworks show in Cole Park during the event.
We're going off all of that up.
Where are you watching from? That was my big question.
Sorry, what?
Where will they be setting them off from?
Okay, so that was previously, this was held on private property back in this location right here. Village property surrounds it. But what we found when I talked to Scott a few weeks ago. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Scott Paul a few weeks ago is that he doesn't see a problem with it being on village property. When we originally proposed this, he thought they were commercial grade fireworks. So he thought that there was potential for them to shoot up onto Main Street, back behind there. There is no threat of that. So he
You
would.
just had little kids running around like.
Bottle rockets and stuff.
No.
Sparklers.
So these would actually be further back than what they currently are, so it would be even safer. Not that they weren't safe, but even further back away from the public that visits the Candle Walk. So they would be back even further. He did make the recommendation that he would like the grass mowed in a very specific area, so if as volunteers we need to do that, we can do that also. But it was our hope that the council supported it, because it just makes our life easier than trying to have the guy who lives there every year support it, so that was the goal.
Will it have any impact on those houses on the east side of the village property that their backyards are off of Main Street?
No, that's what he was worried about previously with the commercial grade. He said these are not even close, so.
Okay.
And it would be.
Nor with the Canal Street people?
No, it would be back even further away from where it was in previous years.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve Amanda's fireworks and show in Cole Park with Tommy mowing the lawn before. Get that part out.
Is there support on that? Motion been made and supported. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
You need to volunteer.
How many nights are we talking? Every night?
Well, I'm so sorry. It is to start to kick off the Candle Walk, so 6 o'clock on Friday, and then at the end 9 o'clock on Saturday.
No, you're fine, thank you.
All right, next up, Candle Walk requesting approval for a raffle license.
Yeah. So we are bringing the Festival of Trees again. So we would like to run this through the proper channels, which I have learned a lot about for raffle licenses. So I would like to do that very legitly this year, so we don't get in any sort of trouble. So that is, if everyone knows what Festival of Trees are. So
Are they gonna be in one place
I think
or spread out?
we think one place. So, but we're not 100% sure yet, but we have to be sure this one.
Again, make a motion to let Amanda have approval for a Apple license.
Support.
For whatever she
Motion's
wants.
been made and supported. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, you're all set, Amanda.
Sorry, I do have one more thing, if
Sure.
you don't mind. The parade route, so in the past, we have not hosted the side-by-side golf cart parade. We are in talks to maybe work on a joint effort or have a separate globe parade on
Saturday, but what we're really hoping to do is to end traffic crossing 57. So as you can see, we keep continuing to stay on the side of 57 to make sure that kids don't get hurt. The first year we tried to be on the south side of 57, and we just did not feel safe enough with 57 not being closed down. So with business recommendations, they said, please do not close 57 down, keep it where it's at. I think we have a lot more space here also to kind of do what the public has wanted. We do know that there is nostalgia there, my mother included, wherever you're by me to ask if we can shut down 57 again. So please know that we hear this from everywhere, but with what we're operating under, we would like to keep it on this side. So Laura Greenfelder and Chris Tiley at Sports Millers have agreed that we can use that as like a staging area. The railroad tracks in between there, and then travel up Pine Street. And so we're not all like trying to take away from Matt's business either, that you would go up Pine Street and then circle around, and Brady Street is closed, so I'm back over here now. So they can then park along Brady Street. It will only be on one side of the road, so residential and emergency vehicles can go through. It is at the most 10 minutes long, like that is very, very generous, but it's very short, and it would be on very pretty street through Tusting, and they would just kind of circle around through here, and then be able to park along that, so everyone can see. I mean, some people put hundreds of dollars into their decorations, so instead of all huddled together, yes, you could, and be nice and cozy, so you get a very good view, so that was the whole that you would support that parade route. So the main objective is to make sure that kids, they like to gather right at that light to watch them, and it doesn't ever make me feel very safe, so. Sure. Is there any other questions about that?
No, that sounds good.
No, I think that's fine. That's not at all.
Do you need that approved, Tim? Make a motion, let Amanda have the pathway for her parade? Goal parade.
Some sort of parade.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, everyone.
Quick question, why, you're a 503C, right?
Mhm.
Why would she need to come to the council to ask for?
The state requires,
Yeah, that's right here.
the state requires that they have municipal
One time.
approval one time before they can hold raffles in town.
And
It is a
you
nonprofit.
signatures too.
I don't, like, we're a nonprofit, we don't have to come in front of council to get it.
You'll get a letter eventually telling you you have to.
Maybe you did it like a ton of years ago.
You're also on the
I'm just saying, I don't understand why.
The fair had two last year for their raffles.
Right here is the paper that I
Yeah,
have to
well, I
have.
know I deal with them all the time, the state, I know how they are, so I just didn't, I didn't understand why you're not, you get the,
All right,
you know.
call the state about American Legion.
I think the band boosters are gonna be talking into
They are, still have to. They just, thank you, everyone.
No, that's the first, that's just the first time that I got it.
Alright, let's see, next we have approval to purchase advertisement and Chesapeake yearbook. I think we do this every year.
We do $105 plus we buy a yearbook. That's really up there, yeah.
I make a motion to approve the purchase of an advertisement and the Chesaning High School yearbook, and to purchase a yearbook.
Motion has been made and supported. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we've got approved purchase of a Generac transfer switch for the Chapman Street lift station. What was wrong with the old transfer switch?
It is no longer working.
Oh, cool.
And this is for the sewer pump station on Chapman Street, where, when power goes out, this will automatically turn the generator on. The current one isn't working, so we have, if the power goes out, we have to send somebody out to go down and crank it, and manually start it. They're over $12,000, so definitely not cheap.
Well, that's a lot of power.
Right. We need something there.
Nobody can repair it.
It's not repairable at this point.
Well, the alternative
myself.
We don't want a mess.
I don't want that.
No.
Yeah. This week still.
And is this installed? Does that include?
Yes.
Install transfer switch and current operation.
Is correct, existing, perfect. All right, I make a motion to approve the Generac transfer switch for Chapman Street lift station.
Support. Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
You get a warranty on this?
2 years. Next up, we have appoint Nick Hellman to DDA.
Nick Hellman is, one of the owners of Big Rock Coffee Events. We have a spot open on the DDA. He would like to get involved, and the DDA would like him to get involved. So,
Motion to appoint Nick Holman to the DDA.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, committee reports, infrastructure.
I have a meeting tomorrow morning.
All right.
no,
No,
next
20th.
Wednesday.
Oh, next Wednesday? Oof. Don't yell at me, I put us on the test. Yeah, you say, ooh, I wasn't planning tomorrow either.
Yeah, okay.
Coming up.
All right, next, finance and admin, no meeting. Public safety, no meeting. DDA,
I was not able to attend.
They did have a meeting. The, Laura Greenfeller has stepped down from the DDA. Tamara Wenzel is now the treasurer, and took over that spot. The big thing was a loan for, they're loaning the chamber money, to fix a sign, or to pay to fix that sign. There's an interest rate, payment schedule, everything done, the correct way. That sign cost just around $40,000 to repair.
Oh, just so everybody knows, that does not include the LED sign, they already bought that, that's just for the metal poles.
Yeah.
And the
Just make sure it doesn't break again.
Yeah.
Or rot, sorry.
yeah, I know. I thought the same thing, Danielle.
I am in the wrong business.
And that was it.
Thanks, Tom. Chamber met, it was a light agenda, so I was not able to make it. I talked to a chamber member afterwards, and there was nothing really, any consequence discussed. Planning commission? No meeting. Airport?
Next year.
Fire board?
We had 8 runs, bringing the total to 163. The blood drive on the 3rd and 4th, they got 32 pints of blood. Training was done Saturday and Monday. There was a special tech rescue team out of Saginaw. It's their new drone rescue team.
What's that?
The drone was like $800 some thousand, $8,000 some dollars. And what it does, and I wasn't there, but Scott was saying that they use this to go down like on the river there, find somebody,
Oh, okay.
or out in the woods where somebody's,
Is that a floor?
they have the eyes from the sky.
Is it a floor?
I'm not sure, but they used it and that,
You maybe use it from here.
yeah. Next training meeting is November 2nd and 3rd. Fire board is November 13th. And check your smoke detectors and CO detectors. Clean your chimneys if you got fireplaces. And check your filters on your furnaces. Changed.
Thanks, Phil. Next up, task force?
No meeting.
Parks? All right, next up, we have public statement, any topic limited to 3 minutes.
Dale not here?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Not Dale, but then.
And Mike Navarre. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. What name and address, please, for the record?
My name is Danny Muirhead, live at 402 Center, that's Maine, over here right across the street from the Lutheran Church. But I'm here tonight to ask you guys, would you please remove the 5-bag limit on leaf bags for October and November? Ranger only has responsibility to pick up 5 of them, and if they only pick up 5 of them, we ain't got enough Friday for them to pick up all of our bags here in Chesapeake. And I know that's all they pick up because they did it last week. Well, then our neighborhood, I put them out, they only pick up 5, they leave the rest of them. And we're just starting into the leaves
And there's just no way that they, I mean, I got 15 bags over at my place right now to come out, and we're just starting, and if they're only gonna pick up 5, there's gonna be a lot of bags around here. So what I'm asking, if you can do it, would you please remove that at least for October and November? The rest of the year, I don't think it's a problem, but these 2 months, it could be a heck of a problem.
We look at the contract on that.
It's not a village limit, unfortunately, it's a Granger limit.
Right.
They're the ones that said it, it's in the contract. I tried last year to get extra trucks sent, and they would not do it.
Do they know they're just gonna end up in the garbage?
I tried last year to get them to take more.
You could offer them a little more money just for these 2 months.
We could try to figure the cost out, but,
I'll tell you what
I mean,
happened last
the
year.
money is your money, just, I mean, that's all tax money, and on your water bill, so it'd be, the residents pay more.
Yeah, but you know what, your water or the garbage bill on that there, it's only $21 a month. And when you look at it, they stop over 10 times a month to everybody between the 4 garbage, the 4 bags and everything. So basically, they're starting over there for $2, stop over for $2. That's a hell of a deal. So that was a hell of a good contract that you guys did with them. But I surely can't see that you can call up and say, hey, but just for these 2 months, will you pick them all up and we'll pay you for them?
I tried last year, I asked for a price, and they just would not give me. I will absolutely do it again.
Okay, I really appreciate it. Because last year, I asked the guys that were picking them up. I said, do they tell you guys to only pick up 5 bags? And he says, yeah. He says, but we also know that we gotta get these things picked up, so we just pick them up. And sometimes you go out there, and you make sure that they pick them up.
They should pick 6 up.
Correct.
Just so you know, the limit is 6, they should pick 6 up.
Oh, there's a limit 6.
That's a huge difference, but.
Yeah, well, we only did 5 on each one last time, so. Anyway, if you can do something, if not, we could be in a heck of a lot, there'd be a lot of bags out there, and I don't know what to do with them. And I got 13 trees over here.
They're allowed to dump over, no, they're not allowed to take leaves? Just brush?
Just a brush, yeah.
Is there, can we change it to make it a leaf dump out there? I mean,
Compost?
compost place, I
we're-
mean, if it's possible.
We could, but it's gonna take, that's like a whole nother project. If you're composting, you have to set up the bins with a way to like mix it.
Why is there such a problem for them for just these 2 months?
Because they got trucks everywhere, they gotta go to every town, and it's truck costs, it's employee costs, it's,
I think it's the room on their trucks as well,
That's
which is
true,
what
too.
happened with recycling and why it was split through opposite weeks was because of the fact that we didn't have room on the trucks.
Okay, I
For them to
understand that,
do the
but
whole
no,
town
that's what
for
the guy says,
recycling.
they gotta go back and dump and come back.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't-
my thought,
They
too.
don't like to do it.
they wanna
But
make
they
one
do it.
trip, right?
They do it. But the thing of it is that a lot of times, the employees will do it themselves. And that's
Sure.
what I'm hoping of. But if they don't, somebody like us gotta go out and pay them to pick it up.
Certainly.
And Granger's just losing money because the employees are making the money on the side. So anyway, that's what I hope can happen.
I'll tell you,
I don't know what to do
they
with the money.
negotiate a price, they're gonna jack that price up.
Well, I'll tell you what, on the garbage contract, at $2 a stop, for $21, that's a hell of a deal. So if they do jack it up some, I don't think, I mean, you guys gotta negotiate the contract, obviously, I don't know when it comes back up. But, that should be, one that should be eliminated, I think, should be eliminated right away.
Sure, as I know, there's a lot of bags sitting around town all winter long.
Well, not only that,
Well, they get wet,
then when
and
they
you
go
can't
to
lift
pick them up in the spring, everything goes down, then we gotta repack them all out. So anyway, that's what I hope can happen.
Make a
Thank
note
you,
of that,
thank you.
so
Thank you, Jay.
we can
Mike?
consider.
Oh, well, I don't know if it's helped his situation, but like, I had 12 bags last year and I was kind of worried about him picking it up. So I went and got a metal garbage can and I took my weed eater and I just kept in and out on these leaves and I reduced 12 down to 4. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I can.
You mulched them.
Mulch them.
And it helped, nice.
But when you mulch them,
That
and
is really
in my house over there, I can mulch them, but I can only mulch so many. Because they turn into mush, and they turn into really crappy stuff, and then you just gotta rake everything.
Well, that's why in the garbage can, it's like this stuff. And I guess they didn't care about how heavy they were. They were just.
No, because they didn't really.
Yeah.
I think if you go over 80 pounds, we'll start.
There's a lot of ladies.
Well, for future negotiation, we should try to remember there's something that, on our next contract, that we need to make sure that we have this up.
For sure.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dan. Dale. Dale.
Do you have anything else?
All these.
All right, next up, council members statement. Any council member have a statement they'd like to share?
I would say that Lucan's last meetings tonight has been a pleasure serving on the board with you. Thank you.
Thanks for your service, Jay.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll have you in here one more time after your service is fulfilled for pictures and.
One other thing, I don't want to recognize Lauren Greenfeld tonight. She's honoring four veterans for the Fourth of Honor. And, like I said, they recognize the four vets. Marie Bryan, the World War II vet. She's over 100 years old. She's still alive. Yep. And who else? Earl Buchholz, Ron Meyer, and
Local, I'm assuming? That's wonderful, we have somebody over 100 in our municipality, huh? That's wild. I love it.
Hey, who painted that snowplow?
Josh Chrysler's
Yeah, the-
class.
Yeah,
That looks really good.
Looks marvelous.
Did you see some of the others?
No.
Just posted, there are different schools that did that. There's a whole bunch of schools that did it. All of them were,
St.
yeah,
Charles,
they're
I
all
think,
cool.
did one, Carlton, there's
Ours
like
is the
4 or
coolest.
5.
Yeah, of course, ours is the coolest, but, yeah, I have a couple things. When I say it's frustrating that volunteers' efforts to beautify the community are sometimes undermined. In Showboat Park, the benches meant for resting for basketball have been damaged unbelievably, and that's to go with the disc golf equipment that's regularly vandalized. So it'd be nice if we could get that stopped.
I had a conversation with about 9 kids last week who were under the pavilions climbing picnic tables around and hanging off the sides, and had them on top of them, chased them out.
And the other thing is,
Cause that's where it goes next.
tonight we had our Cub Scouts writing letters and signing cards for troops around the world this Christmas. They will be participating with the West Point Parents Club of Michigan. That group expects to surpass 12,000 stocking and gift bags to soldiers, sailors, and airmen stationed overseas during the holidays. Because it's expected that more than 160,000 U.S. troops will be deployed over the 2024 holidays, unable to return home to friends and family. So we had our kids with this group. They were writing letters, filling out postcards, stickers, doing arts and stuff. And we're packing that up and sending it to this group that distributes around the world. So that's what we had our Cub Scouts do tonight. That's it.
Anybody else? All right, moving on to the next thing, village staff reports, police chief.
Any questions about the stats from the month of September? If you guys end up having any questions, feel free to contact me after.
I noticed there was nothing on here, birthday party celebration on the 30th. For Keith.
For September?
You can't contribute any hours to that.
We can put that on here, that'd be on the down low.
Alright.
In September, we also did our yearly qualifications, fire qualifications. We are required to do that once a year through MCOLS, which is who we're licensed through. So everyone passed that successfully, no issues there. We did have a traffic stop in the month of September that resulted in an arrest. And Leo came out and did a search of the vehicle and found 3.5 grams of methamphetamine. He had a positive hit on it.
Is that a lot?
Penny's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what 3.5 grams is.
I mean, it's more than like 1 or 2 uses. So, I mean, it's
a lot.
Yeah. So that was a really good success. We've been visiting the schools. Now that they're back in sessions, we try to get in there. both dogs did their yearly qualifications, so both are qualified again for another year. They both passed. And then we're looking forward to trunk or treat events. We have a few of them coming up between now and Halloween that we're gonna participate in.
So these are ORV violations, is this, golf cart stuff?
I see a couple mini bikes.
Yeah, we
snagged
golf
down there.
carts, yeah, I had a discussion with some kids at Shovel Park, had some mini bikes down there. Those kids, I think were totally innocent, they just didn't know. Yeah,
Sure.
so, trying to use it as a teaching tool. Obviously if we see them again, but we have not seen them. But yeah, a lot of them is golf carts or side-by-sides parked on 57 as well.
What's illegal for side-by-sides to eat in front of, like, Shovel Park or Shovel Restaurant?
Yes, it's illegal.
I see that all the time.
The only place it's legal for a side-by-side to be on the state highway is crossing the bridge and up to the next turn. Like, they can get on the highway, cross the bridge, then they have to get off.
Yeah, I've seen them 2 or 3 times at Shovel Park there.
Yeah. Unless they can get them plated, but the state stopped doing that.
Yeah, that's a big job to do, to get your side plated. If you might as well just buy a car. You have to have everything that a car has.
They about cost the same.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
What bedtime story do you use?
What's that?
When your report says, I didn't get the juvenile to go to sleep.
Oh jeez, I don't know. That wasn't my call.
Good night.
If it was me, I would have been like, go up to bed, it's time for bed.
Awesome and adorable.
Yeah. Any more questions?
That is hilarious.
You guys have fun. I just
Thank you.
How you go for that?
That's the one I was like, is it pizza?
I don't have my vocals on, so I'm like,
Is this piano?
You get that good.
That's what it said, okay. I just verified with you on that over here.
Did you just gavel me?
I was just.
It's been 4 years before you could gavel me. I'm a little disappointed.
Tom's had a bit of a power trip. I just wanted to thank Kim for 4 years of service and all her hard work, so thank you, Kim. Laura Greenfeller also stepped down from the DDA recently, and I wanted to thank her for all her hard work. She put in a
So
lot,
much work.
and I will miss having her on there, but still a lot of great people on that, on the DDA. Love seeing Sam back, I miss Sam, so I'm glad to see you. And remember, there's no meeting on November 5th, so that you can go out and vote. We have no excuse. So go out and vote on November 5th. And that's it.
Tom? Does anybody have any marijuana ordinance related topics to discuss? Okay. Motion adjourned. Support. Motion has been made and supported to adjourn. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. 18 minutes.